Everyone, File New. My name is Ryan Selvey. I'm a motion designer based in Brooklyn, and this is your weekly update on creator news, designer news, arter news. I say arter news, artist news, anything that is important or interesting for the world of creatives to stay up to date with, because the creative world is always changing and things are always in things are always changing. That's all I can say. We got some updates about Instagram updates. We have some Premiere Pro updates. Color of the year, of course, we're going to talk about Pantone. Frank Gehry died. We're going to be talking about the Louvre. We're going to be talking about the CNBC new logo that came out. People have feelings. We have Vimeo logo updates. We have some resources, some spotlights, and of course, we'll be doing Font of the Week. We're here for about an hour, so if you have comments and questions while you're here live, please, by all means, put it in the chat. If you're watching here as a replay, thanks for being here, and I promise to make it worth your while. I went ahead and I put the raindrop link in the chat, but I promise I will also put it in the description after the end of the show, so you guys can check it out, and you guys can see everything that there is to offer about File New. So, hello to everyone in the chat. I'll say hi in just a second, but let's hop right into our first segment, which is the news. So yeah, I guess kind of sad news, kind of, just life and death. But Frank Gehry died, and if you're not familiar with his work, he is a very revolutionary architect that really changed the landscape. Ooh, didn't mean to do that. That changed the landscape of architecture as we know it. You might be familiar with some of his most famous works, like the Walt Disney Concert Hall, which is, I believe, in Los Angeles, I think. But he died at 96. This was reporting that came from Modern Met. This is Ava Baron. Ava Baron written and posted some of these pictures, as well as I grabbed some of his other famous buildings. He died in Santa Monica, California on December 5th, so that was on Friday. Today's the 10th. At the age of 96. His death followed a brief respiratory illness, according to Chief of Staff Megan Lloyd. So you can see that he had very funky, crazy buildings. He was a pioneer in being able to bring this kind of crazy art form to architecture, because this wasn't something that was ever kind of thought of before. He took the boxy buildings that we all know of as skyscrapers or different things, and then instead created structures that look like flowing curves or unexpected angles, metal skins, and surfaces that all refracted light and caught light, or like kind of looked almost like a Tim Burton-esque thing. He was obviously way before Tim Burton, but he is probably one of his most famous is this Guggenheim for Bilbao. It is in Spain, and it is a landmark in modern architecture with swooping titanium curves, and it defined a new architectural era. This was also the concert hall in Los Angeles that I was talking about, and it is a central masterpiece that is very loud and prominent, and ended up kind of really inspiring other images and other buildings to then also kind of have this gigantic concert hall feeling. But he is will be sorely missed, but also at the same time, he definitely made his mark, and it's sad to see that he went. But also, 96 is a pretty good age. If I can get to 96, I will be very happy. Now, we do have some comments in the chat. We have Winter saying, love his architecture. We also say hello to Wade. Umacorn saying, RIP to Frank. Hello to some people like Zonafly and Bree Base, Oliver. Thank you guys for all being here. And yeah, I would love to hear all of your comments, your feelings. Let us know what you guys think about the news as we go through it. But make sure you check it out. There's, like I said, there's this whole article on My Modern Met that really walks through his life and is interesting. And you'll learn some stuff even if you're familiar with him or not. Kendall saying, is this Firefly Boards? I'm going to have to look into it. Yes, this is on Firefly Boards. And so it's just nice to be able to kind of make these things and then be able to kind of span them out. Now, if we go back to our raindrop, as you see over here, one by one going down, we're just going to check out the different things that I kind of have up here. The next story that we have is that Apple unveiled the winner of their 2025 App Store Awards. Now, these are ones that come from the official curators at the App Store for Apple, and this is right on their website. I just pulled out a few of the ones that I thought were really interesting. The first one was one I had never heard of, and it was like a chatbot called Timo. I'm not sure necessarily why they chose Timo over anything else, but I think it's more of like an agenic kind of ask and then it will do things for you response. But it was the very top, the very one, so I thought it was important to feature. But one that I thought was really cool is Art of Fauna by Clemens Strasser. And it says it turns wildlife illustrations from around the world into relaxing puzzles and sets a new standard for accessible game design. They're beautiful illustrations and also informative. This was under the section that they have if you continue to scroll all the way down. This is under the cultural impact winners. And they say that in addition to recognizing apps and games across Apple devices, App Store's editors selected 6 cultural impact winners for their ability to drive meaningful change, and these apps and games were recognized for their positive impact, providing users with helpful tools, promoting understanding, and shaping a more inclusive world. But if you click on, you can just see like, gosh, these are just the most beautiful illustrations. And it's also cool that you kind of can, get facts and pieces together, and you can learn stuff about while you're going. You can explore biomes. They have over 130 puzzles. It seems just like a relaxing thing to do. And it's free, and it's on, it says designed on iPad, but it looks like it's also on phones as well. Kendall is calling out the Focus Friends, and I know that we talked about this on stream before. This comes from Hank Green. You guys probably know him. Popular internet guy. I'm not sure if he'd be upset about me saying it like that or not, but it is this cute little bean that you get, and it helps you stay on focus as you pick up your phone to get into a distraction. He stops knitting, and you don't get the furniture that he was working on, but as long as you keep your phone off to the side, it will continue to knit, and then you get to decorate a little house, which you guys know I love, a little cozy game. Then also the iPhone game of the year I just thought was interesting. That was Pokemon Pocket. Was that this year? It's the time of year where we start going over things that happened previously in the year, and I can never conceptualize if this was like a January or February thing, and I just have no concept of time anymore, or if maybe this was last year and they're just kind of giving it a big update and rewards. These aren't the only awards that are on there. Like I said, there's 17 of them. They're all from standout developers for creating the best apps and games of 2025. But it is interesting to see. Umacorn saying, wasn't this the most downloaded app at one point, Focus Friend? Yes, I think it was number 1 at one point. And I think it was also the app of the year for the Android store. So it's both on Android and on iPhone. Also, thanks, Wade, for putting a hello in the YouTube chat. I appreciate you guys. As you guys know, I prefer YouTube chat because it's better for the algorithm. So if you're able to chat over there, big thumbs up to that. Then some Instagram news. We have a few different Instagram news, but we're going to start off with the one over here, which is new to Edits. And if you're not familiar with it, Edits is the video editing app that is baked into Instagram. It says that they now have templates to quickly create trending videos using popular music, eye-catching fonts, or time clips that match the beat. You can also share new templates for others to try. There's storyboards where you can turn your ideas, stickies, into organized storyboards with teleprompter cues, video clips, and notes all mapped out for your next video. Then there's Reels, which you can easily add Instagram's public library of Reels, yours or others, to videos to remix, react, or spark new creativity. Every creator is credited with their own original work. Secondary color tab, which is adding a secondary color to customize your background or outline of your text and captions. And then lock screen widgets, which means that you can add widgets to your iPhone lock screen to easily access the camera in Edits, or add a sticky note to remind yourself of ideas saved directly into Edits. So then you can go back to here and you can kind of build out your storyboards. It's cool that they have a teleprompter. As you guys know, I use a prompter over here that just turns my computer screen into a teleprompter. But it's cool that if you necessarily don't want to get the Elgato teleprompter for something, you are also able to use your phone and use that as you're creating content. So I love just now that we've really reached a place where like creators, regardless of income or what you're able to put into something, you're able to really create cool stuff out of it. Kendall says, between Focus Friend and Forest, I'm hoping next year I have a full room, and a forest for focusing. Yes, forest is the one similar to Focus Friend where you grow trees for being able to focus and not pick up your phone. So I would love to see your forest. We have something coming on later in the show. I hope we get to it. That's all about gardening and being able to journal, which I think is really cool. And I'll be able to call back to that. Hopefully you're still around for the next hour or so, and we can get to there. Kendall wants to know if Edits is available on iPad. She wants to film with iPhone, but want the good camera, so I can't see the phone. Well, you can always run things also as an iPhone app on the iPad if it's not already for it. Instagram notoriously didn't have an iPad app for like decades, so I'm not sure if they have it on the iPad, but it seems like it would make sense, but that's not necessarily saying that it's there. Alyssa's saying YouTube chat, Hive, rise up, appreciate that. And also a reminder to like this video if you can on YouTube because it helps discovery of this. Miss Melanie's joining us from Los Angeles, and she says she's a little late, but she's here for her favorite show, and you flatter me, and that means a lot, so thank you so much. To some, I don't know, is it disappointing news? Is it, I don't know, you guys tell me what it is. The Louvre is hiking ticket prices by most non-EU tourists by 45% in the new year. So you have a few more weeks to go, I guess, run over to this museum if you want to not have to pay the price hike. But this is on BBC from Osmond Chia, and it says that ticket prices for the Louvre Museum in Paris will rise by 45% for most non-European Union visitors, the museum's board decided. So early next year, tourists from countries like the US, the UK, and China will have to pay 32 euros, which is $37, to enter the museum, a price hike which is expected to raise millions of euros annually to fund an overhaul of the famous gallery. The museum's security and management have faced criticism since a brazen heist in October when a 4-person gang stole jewelry worth $102 million and fled within minutes. So yeah, big price hike. It seems like it was previously something in like the 20s, I believe. And now it is now 37 for as far as dollar amounts go. So I guess maybe they're buying some more Ring cameras, right? Alessandra said, yeah, probably because of the heist going on over there. Shaking my head. Winter's saying, such a bummer. And Ben is also saying, obviously need to update their security. Oliver wants to know how they know where people are from to charge different prices. I wonder if you'll have to like bring your passport or like an ID or something. It says, I don't know if it says it on here though. Let's see. If I do Control F, passport or ID, no, it doesn't give it to me. So, all right. To be determined. Oliver, if you could just go run over there real quick and you could ask them, that would be really great. And get back to us in chat. Just go run to the museum real quick if you can. Our next story is staying in the art world, like the fine art world, and this is also coming from My Modern Met. This is update. We talked a little bit about Art Basel last week or the week before, because it just wrapped, and it was a big success this year, which is exciting to see. It says Art Basel, Miami Beach 2025 closes with strong sales and equally stunning art. This is from Ava Barron for My Modern Met. The interesting thing about here is that it essentially, like the fine art world experienced a slump a little bit back between 2023 and 2024. But this says that strong sales suggested a revived momentum within the art market. Apparently, there was over, I think, 80,000 attendees, I believe. Across its VIP and public days, the renowned art fair attracted some 80,000 visitors, proving just how vibrant and energetic the contemporary art world is. There was also a big sale for an Andy Warhol for $18 million, and that was for the Muhammad Ali piece from Andy Warhol, and that was from Levi Gorvy Dayan, placed that for $18 million. So it was standing at the fair's most expensive transaction overall, but overall they just experienced a lot of great sales. And even if you're there just not to buy things, or you're there just to experience it, it's a really cool collection of artists. Always nice to be able to see the world coming together and focusing on art. My Modern Met has some really great photos of some good stuff. This is a view of Do Ho Suh's 2014 sculpture, and among others. So make sure you give a scroll through. You can see, wow, that's kind of terrifying, and I love it. It is the Amis Yavuz Galleries booth. So something interesting to check out. Feel inspired, and maybe start saving up for that $18 million Warhol piece that you want. Is anybody here going to buy it? If you want to donate to the show, you are more than welcome. Winter saying 18 million. Dang. Yeah, no joke. This is, if there's anybody here that's in that art world that is buying these things, let us know. I would love insider info. Well, not insider info, but let's go to the thing that everyone was talking about last week and into this week. This is Pantone's Creative Color of the Year. This is something they do every single year. Last year it was brown. This year it is white. It is Cloud Dancer. And something interesting about this one in particular, besides the fact that it is a white hue, is The Verge was reporting that it felt like the party was a recession indicator. I also have firsthand experience on this because CA in LA, the ladies over that stream for us on Twitch, actually came to New York to go to this party, and they stayed with us, which was really cool. But they were nice enough to leave me with some of the goodies that happened at the party, okay? And people are understandably reacting interestingly to the all-white thing. Apparently, it is spoken to give creatives a reason to breathe again. And they said that it is to have like negative space and open space. So I want to walk you guys through a few of these things. First being, this is probably the coolest thing, Viewpoint Color Magazine that they gave. It's a color toolkit. Not only does it smell amazing, but it's got these really cool big swatches of color, and then all of these things you can also take out, and it's just really cool. I'm going to be using it for, when I'm working on color palettes and design. It also has a few different features in here talking about different people. There's some really good portraiture, among other things. Then they also are focusing on like this red and how it can be used. So this is definitely the coolest thing that was given to me, which is really nice. But the one that I really want to feature, the one that I find hilarious, and I cannot believe. Oh, Manuel is asking. This is Viewpoint Color Magazine Legacy. They gave it away for free at the Pantone party for the Color of the Year. I'm not sure if you can buy it or not, but you see it has it. It's right on the back. It has the color. But this is what's very interesting. Okay, this is the funniest thing in the whole world. This is a mug. Now, if you have ever had a Pantone mug before, let's see, focus. It has the color on it, and it's not just a white mug. You can see that there is this very thin difference between the white and the regular mug, and it has the Pantone color of white. I don't know if I'll ever drink out of this. I think this is the funniest thing in the whole world. Like, just make the whole mug white at that point. You know what? You can't say that they weren't committed to it, right? Some other highlights include command strips with little hooks that just look like regular command strip hooks, right? They have Play-Doh that's just white Play-Doh. They have white chocolate. I mean, I actually like Tony's Chocolonely, and we talked about this actually the other day. But among some other things, there was also some tea and stuff. I think I might have gotten rid of it. We got Post-it notes, white Post-it notes. I don't know. How do you guys feel about it? Well, before we get into the other poll that we're going to have on YouTube for Font of the Week, I'm going to start and poll and say, how do you feel about the color of the year? And I'm going to say yay, nay, or indifferent. And you guys can let us know how you feel. Because I have a feeling of which way direction it's going to go. But we'll see where it goes. What other books and magazines for color inspiration do you recommend? Oh, there were some that we've mentioned before. I don't know if I have any. That might be the first one that I have. But like, I've been talking about maybe doing like a book club or something. Could be neat. But well, that is rocking and rolling. We're gonna hop back into here, and we're gonna hop back into some other news. This is going to be a big release from Tapas. I don't know how you say it. This is going to be a lifesaver for a lot of people that get really low quality stuff. Topaz Labs is introducing Starlight Precise 2, which is a new video enhancement model that delivers next-gen realism. So say goodbye to plastic and artificial look, get natural faces, skin textures, and details. So this is not generative video in the way of like text to prompt or anything like that. This is fully just taking an original, like poorly produced or provided piece of work, whether it is generated or maybe you get some sort of asset that is too blurry or something, and you can run it through here and it's going to fix the lighting, it's going to fix the texture, it's going to fix the sharpening. Too many times in my experience I have had a very poorly provided video, and then, you know, from there not being able to use it, or you blow it up and they're like, oh, well, can we put a filter on it or something? This is something that I think will save people a lot of time, a lot of space, and being able to use your footage to be able to get that authentic look that doesn't look like, you know, it's like ripped apart and looks all shiny and stuff. I mean, like the comparison between these two is really beautiful. And can give a very nice hyper realism. So they announced that on the 8th, today's the 10th, and that's Starlight Precise 2. Overturf is saying that he has the ugliest Pantone mug, yellow and gray together. That's interesting. Why do you have that? How did that come about? Why? I feel like that was a choice. Also, if you have a picture of it, make sure you put it in the Discord. I guess that would be a great time to mention the Adobe Live Discord. The Adobe Live Discord is always available for you, night and day. Here it also has updates immediately from things like the Photoshop page, which I have immediately going to the file new, and they're now rolling out free integrations of Photoshop, Acrobat, and Adobe Express directly into ChatGPT. We'll get to that in just a second, but you can also access all the schedules each week, and this week we have bunch of really cool stuff. We have streams every day this week, which is nice. Right now, you can find yourself right here at the 10 a.m. PT, 1 p.m. ET area. Next up after this, we have the Cinema Collective with the CA and LA girls, the girls that were nice enough to give me the Pantone stuff. And then tomorrow, we're on YouTube all day. And then there is one episode on Friday for YouTube, which is 12 Days of Creativity Challenge. Create, design, and have fun. So you can check all of that out, and you can also just hang out with people and talk and get more resources. Thank you to Cody for putting the link to the Adobe Live Discord in the chat, which means a lot. Kendall says that she says, I need less skin smoothing on YouTube Shorts. It makes everything look low res. Ooh, okay. And we'll be talking about that also in a second with some YouTube Shorts and things that are doing. And Kendall is saying that the upscaling AI makes it look awful. Yeah, because Umacorn says she does not like the AI on YouTube. Just to let you guys know, this is not AI, though. This is just me. Also, thank you to Winter for putting some book recommendations into the YouTube chat. Appreciate that. She says that My Color Theory professor suggested Chromophobia by David Batchelor. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to copy and paste that. I will also be putting that into the Discord for you guys. So if you guys need to grab that later, it'll be right here for you in file new right under here. So see, boom, boom. I put the Amazon one. I'm not saying you have to buy it from Amazon, but that's just an easy way to be able to crop it because that's the one that I grabbed when I was searching for the title really quick. So then as far as news, it's a very heavy news day. I know like a lot of times we like switch between resources and stuff. This one in general is a pretty heavy news one. It's actually a perfect kind of time to talk about this because we were just talking about YouTube. Now available, there is YouTube Shorts from Adobe Premiere Mobile. This is coming from the Adobe blog written by Mike Polner. It says short form video is exploding, and with averaging over 200 billion with a B views every day. YouTube Shorts have become a major global stage for you to share their stories, but you also need to tell fast, easy, and powerful tools to make amazing videos that will help you stand out and grow your audience. Now you are able to create YouTube Shorts directly from Adobe Premiere Mobile. You can see here, there's a whole write-up about it. It says, starting today, the new Create for YouTube Short Space in the Premiere Mobile app is available and empowers you to use Adobe's best in-class video tools to create and edit the perfect video. New Space is packed with exclusive templates, transitions, and effects that make creating and instantly publishing your content to YouTube Shorts intuitive and frankly fun. Do I have? No, I don't have it shared. Okay, so we don't have to worry about it, but we can watch this quick video. And while that's happening, I'm going to open up this LaCroix real quick. Oliver says, I watched a YouTube short once. Only once? I watch them all the time, dude. How's that possible? Also, Mike was asking if that was a color book. Yes, we were talking about a few color books and recommendations, so make sure you check out the Discord to see what's up. And then also, Overturf is saying that what did you get a book at? Oh, you got the Pantone mug at Max, which is funny. Right on. But cool. You can get all the likes, and you can get eaten by a dinosaur. Try it now. It's Premiere on iPhone. It's available. You can just get it straight from the App Store. So if anyone ends up checking it out, let us know. There's also some examples down here at the bottom of different ways that people are using it, so you can get inspired and you can add it to your own workflow. Let us know. I know I was on a stream a few weeks back with Paul Ash, and it was really cool to see actually how intuitive the Premiere mobile app was, because I do a lot of Premiere Pro editing, but I need to get better about editing on my phone, and it was nice to see that it was actually pretty accessible and easy to hop into. Next up, we have update from Lucas O'Keefe about Instagram. This is from being able to control your algorithm, which is a new thing that Instagram just launched today. This says, we finally have an option to customize our algorithm. Right now, it's just for Reels. And if you don't see the button shown in this post, it means you currently don't have the feature yet, because they are rolling it out. But when they announced it, it said that we would get the feature for all content types eventually. That makes it more important than ever to make your content super searchable and topic focused. This is something that we saw on Blue Sky right when it launched, and then now other services are also kind of being able to experiment with it. It gives you the ability to go in and click this little edit area. You can see what lately the algorithm thinks that you've been into. So here it says, lately you've enjoyed memes, retro gaming, and Dungeons and Dragons. LOL, Lucas. Also, there's like Pokemon down here, and gym culture and Saturday Night Live. You can go through and you can either add them or remove any that you want to see less of, and then that way you're able to then have a little bit more control over what is being served to you, which is always kind of exciting, because more control is always better, I feel like, for the most part, just because then we want to be able to have healthier relationships with our internet. Oliver says TikTok has had the ability to edit what it thinks your interests are and do a complete reset. Is that something you're going to be doing in the new year? I know some people like to do like digital footprint resets every single year, and they like completely clear their YouTube search history and their watch history. That way it gives a completely new algorithm. So will anybody here be doing that? I will not. I'm always like, no, I want it to be as specifically tailored towards all my weird midnight searches as possible. And then our last piece of news comes to us from good old Paul. He has a great video explaining this, and it's something that I just teased when we were looking at the Discord a second ago. But he created a nice video explaining about this new collaboration between Photoshop and ChatGPT. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to pull it up. And we'll
Photoshop in ChatGPT. Let me show you. Just go into your settings, apps and connectors, and that's where you'll find Photoshop. Then access it through the plus button, and then type in whatever you want with whatever photo you want. I could be as simple as just typing in Brighton. From there, you'll get multiple options such as exposure to brighten up your image with these lovely sliders, which is great, but let's take it to another level. Let's get creative and add effects to this image. And we get multiple effects to play with, such as tritone, tone, and we have all those controls to play with. We also have glitch, which is really fun, and also a nice dither that we can control, all with sliders. Let's take it to another level because I want this image to be black and white except for the apple, and that's exactly what happens. But not only that, we can open this up in Photoshop on the web, and then we can do so much more compositing, color changes, really anything we want. This is Photoshop in ChatGPT. Try it out for yourself. Let me know what you think. Exciting news.
Pretty cool, right? Just being able to also be able to open it directly into your Photoshop as well, and being able to then make your own edits. Sometimes it's a nice little starting point. And also just cool that there's going to be these integrations that are built just straight into the app. That way you don't have to hop around too much. You can just all stay in one place. Reverb Mike says, I like to edit. Don't want TikTok doing my editing. Yeah, so I think it definitely will continue to be a thing that will be like, you can always have full control and you can do your own thing. And then also being able to have the tools to be able to speed something up, especially if you're on a quick, tight turnaround or something, or you just want to see something before you maybe fully flesh it out. Reverb Mike says Paul's voice keeps getting higher. God bless Paul, man. He is churning out content, doing so many different conferences and stage presences. I don't know how he does it. I'm surprised he has a voice at all, which is great. And then one last thing before we move over to our next section is Winter is saying that she's worked hard for that algorithm of Godzilla, and you know she's going to keep it. So you know what? I'm glad that we are both in the same page. Let's go over to one of our most popular sections right after this, which is Font of the Week. Before we hop into Font of the Week, I found this website page on Adobe Fonts. I didn't find Adobe Fonts, obviously. That's to be expected. But it is a page that I had not seen before. I don't know if it's new or if they just like featured it in a new way that I hadn't seen it up until this point. But if you're on the homepage for fonts.adobe.com and you scroll down, there is this featured foundries page. And not only do they have different like sections here, like they have innovative ideas, woman-driven, staff choice, Asia Spotlight, Small But Mighty, Workhorse Catalog, Latin American Spotlight, and Fresh Faces. They have also just all of the foundries that are available, so you can go and you can click into each one. The cool thing here is that when you're like clicking on the ones that they have at least featured right here, they have some of the reason why it is being picked for that solution, and then it gives you a little bit information about the foundry itself. So when I was actually looking for typefaces this week, I actually hopped in and I grabbed a few from some of these, and they're going to be our contenders for the Font of the Week. As far as the color of the year, with how do you feel about the color of the year, we have going to end this poll, and 59% of you are not into it. We have 35% that are into it and 6% that are indifferent. So a little bit more of a equaled out response than I thought it was going to be, which is interesting. I'm glad to hear that you guys are all independent voices and opinions, which is good. So this week we are going to be looking at these three typefaces. I think it's Formiga, Nave, and Mancati. So we'll look at one each bit by bit, but as we do that, I am going to go ahead and create a new poll for you guys, and then you guys all vote on the Font of the Week. The winner will be put into the Hall of Fame, and then you will always be able to access that one in the Hall of Fame on the Raindrop, which you can always add any of these typefaces to your project because they are available to you if you have a subscription to Creative Cloud. And it's just a really good way to be able to add new personality to your projects. Okay, so let's start off with Manicati. That's the other thing. I am so bad at being able to pronounce anything ever. This is coming from DJR, which is one of my favorites. This was designed specifically by David Jonathan Ross, which is what DJR stands for. And this is a serif font. It's like kind of like a slab serif, if you will. It's decorative, it's display, it's expressive. It could be used in logos, headlines, posters, branding, anywhere where you need a lot of attention and you can have the space for flair. It is like I said, very display focused. So you're not going to want to necessarily use it for anything like body copy or something. You can see even here when it is even at this scale, just because it is so kind of condensed that, and it has these really, really dramatic spots. As soon as you start doing a lot, it's going to get lost in the kerfuffle of it all. So I would not recommend using it for body copy. But it exhibits playful. It exhibits expressive shapes. It exhibits strong personality. There is, let's see. Let's look at. I like to always look at the glyphs that they have here. So we like to write out file new here, and then you can always access your glyphs either by highlighting and then going to see the glyphs of thing. But I also like to look at the in between. There's lots of variety here. The question marks are really weird. The exclamation points are really weird. They have arrows. Oh, we learned what these were. Does anyone remember what the pointer fingers in a font are called? What are the pointer fingers in fonts called? We learned the real word for it last week on stream. Let's see if anyone remembers in the chat. Anyone? It's a manicule. And it's just an index finger pointer. It is from the Latin manicula, meaning little hand, and is a typographic symbol of a hand with an extended index finger used to draw attention to text. So Oliver's saying that he likes all three of these options this week. There's also stars, rights reserved, different little things. And yeah, it's a nice typeface. Next up, we have Nave. It says their little like side thing here says where playfulness meets elegance. And this one is coming to us from, who is this coming to us from? I gotta pull it up. Jamie Clark type. It is Jamie Clark, who obviously made it. It is a perfect choice for designers looking to intertwine tradition with creativity. Its characters are framed by a formal, rigid outer shape, revealing an unexpected twist, a flowing, sensuous inner form with contrasting qualities that breathes life into words, inviting readers on a journey from the familiar to the extraordinary. Nave is designed for forward-thinking designers and businesses who value classic design, but also want to infuse their work with personality and warmth. It is a versatile serif. It is hybrid serif display. There are a few different weights available for you, from thin all the way up to black. It also has italics for you. It's probably good for editorial text. Could work in branding. I feel like a wellness. It could definitely work. I feel like it could. A, B, B, C, C. Bunch of different kind of like lotions or maybe even like meditative stuff. I feel like it could also do something like therapy. I don't know. I'm reading wellness out of this. And as far as glyphs go, it has all of the accents that you would need. Can you do your math homework? Does it have a division symbol? It does have a division symbol. So it has access to a bunch of all the different characters, which is really good. And Alyssa's saying, I like all of them so far. This one is hard. Yay, I'm glad. And then the last one that we have is Formiga. This is designed by Lucas Pozoban for Typotype. And it is a nice fat font. It is got a lot of character. I like the top of the F. Let's see. Is this the right one, though? Yeah. It has a bunch of different typefaces, or a bunch of different weights, all the way from light to black. And we're gonna write out file new because that's always makes sense. I like how it cuts into the N. I like the curviness of the L itself. Miss Melanie's also saying that all three fonts are good. I'm glad I got you guys so stumped this week. And then we're gonna take a quick look at the glyphs. If you're wondering what you could use it for, probably definitely best for headlines. I mean, you can bring it down tinier. I don't know what it would look like if you like. We're gonna just like, we're gonna take some of your guys' comments. We're gonna copy all of this, and then we're gonna paste it, and we're gonna see. Oh, Formiga, regular. We're gonna bring it all down. See what it looks like. You know, it's actually not too bad. You could probably use this as body copy. I mean, yeah, look at that. You can read everything right there. And look at all this stuff. Look at all this stuff. It even has our little poll in here. You could go in. You could probably go in and, you know, this was the winner. So you can bring it up to like bold, and it reads well. It has a nice contrast, and it works at different scales. But also, if you wanted to, and you wanted to make it, file new, you want to make it nice and big, you have the capabilities to do that, which is nice. And looking at the glyphs, because we always look at the glyphs. It has lots of variety. I like how the what are they called? Not the kickstand. I need to get better at my type terminology when I'm live on stream. It kicks out, so it's nice to be able to have that personality and that curvature. And then they also have some math things, but they don't feel as cohesive with some of the other stuff because they don't look like they have support for all of the weights for all of the math. So if you're doing your math homework, just know that you're going to have some variables, and that your math teacher might say, hey, why are you not picking a font that might be a little bit better to be suited for your math homework? So Alyssa says all of these are winners, but I have to cast my vote. So as you guys get into it, you guys can go ahead and vote. It's over on YouTube, so make sure you do that. If you want to say what you voted for as you vote for it, that also helps with the chat and helps with the algorithm. So would love to see it. And also maybe it'll help speak towards what you want to win, and maybe it will skew the crowd to be in your favor. But all available at the very end in about like 10-15 minutes or so. We will crown a winner and we'll go from there. But that's everything we have for Font of the Week. Do you guys want to go into Rebrand next? Because we got some Rebrand stuff. Let's check out Rebrand, which, as you might expect, is when we talk about rebrands. Which one do you guys want to talk about most? We have one that people are super mad about. We have one that people are kind of indifferent about. And then we have one that people are really kind of happy about. So you want to just start with the rage bait? Let's go to the rage bait. If you're not aware of the state of the media industry, there has been a recent change to NBC and their rights of being able to use the peacock in their branding. So all of the different NBC branding is all going through a change. We were looking at one a few weeks ago for a different conglomerate of theirs, but in this week, most recently, there has been this CNBC one. There are some interesting things about this typeface, or this logo word mark, that I do want to call out. Technically, it's supposed to be an up arrow, up to the right, but a lot of people are also seeing it as like a downward slope, which is probably not the best, considering that it deals a lot with money. And they're also doing something really interesting here with the N and the B touching. So with the N and the B touching, rather than having something going back up to then creating more white space here to complete the N, they're relying on the negative space between this new arrow and the B, but then they're also creating a negative space to give extra confirmation that there is a division of letter forms by putting in this little triangle. And so rather than having it be separated from the C and the N in the same way that the N and the B is also separated, they then have this like strange negative space. I want to hear how you guys feel about it. I personally am not wild about it. I'm also not very happy about, it was MS News, right? They also had a new logo that looks kind of rough. So it's interesting to see. They went from MSNBC to MS Now, and they have like this like equals sign kind of on a flag, but it's like red on blue or red on white, which is weird. And then now they have the CNBC, which is not fantastic. Alyssa's saying the Illuminati logo. Overturf Design Studio is saying this is a no from me, dog. Melanie is saying this looks horrible. They should add some colors. Yeah, that is one thing that they really are losing, is the fact that like with the peacock, they had all these colors, which, I mean, I guess 6 is a little excessive for a logo, but at the same time, it was iconic, and it's been iconic for forever. Alessandra's saying nah for me. Umacorn is seeing it as CABC with the triangle, so not even reading as an N. Keys is also in agreement with that about CABC. Kendall saying it's giving boring and forgettable. And Alyssa says, ew. Leslie thinks that it looks like a bank logo. Pearl says that it's lame. At least make the arrow green. Duh. CV Girl is saying, why did they change it? Ugh. It has something to do with the licensing of not being able to use the peacock anymore, because something with licensing and rights and stuff. So that's why they're all changing it. So there's some updates with that. But yeah, as you guys are very clearly showing in the chat, this is kind of the general consensus here. There is a nice article on Creative Block written by Joe Foley if you want to read more about it. They're talking about how it was inspired by the brand's history and including an arrow motif intended to point up and forward, talking about how a lot of people see it going downwards. It says the fate of CNBC Peacock logo is the tale of death foretold. The network can no longer use the iconic bird because its current owner, NBC Universal, is spinning this and a bunch of other assets off into a new company called Versant, which will be owned by Comcast shareholders. So state of the world, and trying to also navigate that. Let's move on, though, something to a little bit less angry and more just like where's the difference? We have brand new calling out the before and after here, left and right, of Vimeo. As you guys are or maybe not aware of, Vimeo recently traded hands as well and sold for like a big, considerable chunk of money. But apparently they do a lot of back-end stuff. And if you're looking at these two, can you tell the difference? There are some differences here, okay? They refined it. It's a little bit more curvy. You are able to see that predominantly, I feel like, in this beginning part of the V. You can also see that they got rid of the smear of the top of the I. The E looks a little bit more refined with a change of weight here as it crosses the middle. It's thinner than it used to be. The O, more or less, kind of just straightened up a little bit. And so the team that did this is from Yomar or Tuya. They have a pretty good walkthrough of it, and they have some interesting stuff here. They are going into the nitty gritty of the different graphics here, but you can see they also lay over top the old logo and the new logo. Where is it? Right here. Where you can see some of the changes, the red being the new one, the black being the old one, and being able to see how it changes. I don't know how much they got paid to do it, but I don't know. On 8 Productions, welcome in. We're talking about this. Ben is saying very subtle change. Winter's saying very subtle change. Alyssa does think that the updates do look good, but she is laughing. And the Vimeo one is reminding Kendall of Jessica Hish's speciality of updating logos from her Skillshare class. Jessica Hish also had an interesting AI-related video this week to check out on her Instagram, which was also quite controversial in the comments, just like most things these days with artists. And the state of the industry, obviously, is very controversial, so I get it. But, I just feel like I keep saying the same thing about every article that I'm bringing up. Oliver is saying it really is just refinement more than a rebrand, and agreed. Yes, definitely not. They even have it here. Yeah, it's a refinement. It says that it was the perfect opportunity for Tuya to test micro typography analysis system, and the original logo carried a peculiar and unexplainable charm, a rhythm and personality that they deeply respected, but their goal was to preserve that and in essence while elevating the typography to a new standard of perfection and structural balance. So yeah. And then the very last one, I want to do a positive one because, it's weird to have those two. This is from Creative Block. This is Natalie Fear. It says the new Supergirl logo is pure lovable nostalgia bait, and she can't even be mad about it. It is the big S, as you would imagine. But they added this cool texture on top of it. They added some fun spray paint. And it's just something to be said about sometimes if it's not broke, don't fix it. And you're able to just be able to lean in what actually works and be able to add charm on top of it. I mean, I guess that's kind of what they did with Vimeo here. But in this one, it just kind of feels like it reads more. This is something that people are really happy about online. And I think it works strong. I don't follow DC Comics as much as I follow Marvel, so I'm not super familiar with Supergirl. Super, LOL. But, I do know it generically, and it's great. On 8 Productions wants to look at the fonts again real quick as the voting continues. Yes, of course. We have Mancotti, we have Nave, and we have Formagia. I don't know. It's its own thing, right? And these are the 3 different options that you have. And everyone seemed to really like all different ones. And we will crown a winner in not too far into the future. Resources are timeless, so we don't have to do resources. I do want to do, I guess hyperlinks are also timeless, but there is just one hyperlink. So let's look at this hyperlink real quick. This is a cute little thing for the new year. By the way, next week, the time slot for File New will be during the holiday special. I will be hosting it, so you guys will be able to see my face. But I will integrate some File New stuff into there, especially if there's news stories as we're going. But then at the same exact time, there is going to be a different format. So this, I think, technically is the last File New news show of the year. So what then a better time to do something for the new year? This is called 1 Year. It's a daily journal, and the way that it represents how you are journaling and keeping up with your habit is you leave a note each day, and as you leave a note, it pops up with this adorable little garden. And you can see here, I'll pull up the page where it like actually animates into it. But look at that. It's so cute. And then as you like write things, it continues to have the plant, and then you can kind of look back over the year and see what days you journaled and when you didn't journal, and be able to then just have that perspective of how things are going. I always feel weird about journaling on anything digital just because I'm like, I don't know if that's vulnerable or not. That said, that's not to say that this has any vulnerabilities in it. It's just one that I always run into. But that said, if I could write a little thing that I'm like thankful for each day, that might be a cool thing to do. It's just called 1 Year Daily Journal, motivational widget. And yeah, you can also have it as a widget on your home screen. So let me know if you guys get into it. Umacorn is saying so cute. And Reverb Mike is already singing For All the Acquaintances We Forgot. Kendall says looks cute. I knew, Kendall, you would like it. I knew you would like that. So I wanted to make sure that I called that out more than anything else. I guess these are like fun Christmas ones. If you're going to be, all right, this is what we'll do. We are going to announce the winner of Font of the Week because we might lose Behance people. But for anyone that sticks around on YouTube, we're going to go a little over. Mods, it's okay if you have to pop. That's fine. I can mod my own thing, I promise. But we're going to go over, and I'm going to give you guys like 30 more seconds to do the Font of the Week. We will then declare a winner, and then we're going to hop into resources. But if you're ever on Behance, you might miss it. So if you want more, make sure you hop over to YouTube. Because right after this, we are going to have Twitch startup with CA and LA, and they will be streaming in about 6 minutes. So I'm going to try not to overlap onto their thing, but on Behance, you might lose it. So let's see. With the winning vote, I'm going to end the poll. It looks like we have a clear winner. The winner of this week's Font of the Week goes to Formiga, the one that I have the hardest time pronouncing. Is that the one that was the cheese? Is that the one? Is the French cheese on 8? I think so. Nate, I think, is saying that this one's the French cheese. And this one had 45% of the vote. And Manicotti had 32%, and Nave had 23%. So as we do with every week, I am going to go back to the raindrop. We are going to go find our Formiga. Between that and Louvre today, I'm just like, I'm all in trying to figure out how to pronounce everything. And you can see here that we have 22 fonts that we have then had updated. I have insider knowledge that apparently there are some new fonts being added later this week. So in the new year, when we go through more fonts, we will be able to then go explore new fonts that have not been available yet, and they will be on Adobe Font. Ben is saying Formagia, maybe. Clever brought the nacho chips. And I got cheese. Formigia is Kendall's guess for pronunciation, like the pizza place. Oh, and Umacore never voted. Oliver voted for Nave, so he's sad about it. Beaver Mike says Behance is more fun, but Behance is going to get cut off, so I don't know. I have no control over that, so sorry. It just kind of happens. Kiddo says, vote we use the Font of the Week for Font Madness in March. Yes, Yes, 100 times over, yes. We'll be doing that in March. We'll do a March Madness with some fun fonts, and we'll put them all up against each other, and we'll go from there. Okay, so for those of you that are still with us on YouTube, let's hop into Spotlight. Okay, so this is the one that is kind of Christmas focused because there is just so many gift lists online. I saw this one on My Modern Met, and it's the best of 2025. It's 40 creative products that earned a spot in their cart this year. Oh, we just lost Behance, so we'll see if people come over or not. But basically, there is this good rundown from My Modern Met. They have some really cool call-outs. I have not tried them, so once again, this is not a this is not a endorsement in any way. I mean, it's kind of endorsed because I'm interested in them, but at the same time, it's not, right? And now they're here. Hey guys, what's up? So these are just some of the things that they kind of called out that they found really interesting. They have some products for animals which are cute. I've actually looked into getting this one before, which is like a clamp that you put onto your desk that is a cat bed. There's also the art cat bed where they have a bunch of different art exhibits and options that can make it look like your art is your cat is in a piece of art being held by like the Mona Lisa or something. It's a little pricey. It's $95. And who's to say that your cat would use it? But I just thought it was really cool. They also have some cool art inspired items. There is this cardboard and cutting tool, which would obviously probably be good for kids, but could also be really cool if you're like working on puppetry or you're working on something that you want to build bigger. You don't work with like scissors. They have a cool studio bag, a ruler. There is a cool poster of different things. Oh, I got this. I forgot to tell you guys about this. I saw when over Thanksgiving break, I went to the Denver Art Museum and I got this thing, and it's great and it has all the colors. And I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but it's a cute little thing. It was $35. It's $35. It's for Pissarro. It was an exhibition on Pissarro, which was really cool. But it was just really pretty, and I couldn't give it up, so I got it. Just watch for a cat scratch fever. Yeah, I have not gotten cat scratch fever yet, but we'll see. And we'll also see how it goes. We've got like 1 minute until CA in LA starts, so make sure you guys hop over there in a second if we do. Color palette, Umacorn likes it. And Siva Girl says, I love how we are all here on YouTube. Me too. Love it. Kendall Zonafly is saying that she saw the Saw thing back in her feed and remember seeing it as a startup early stage a while back, which is cool. But yeah, there are 40 of these. I know we're strapped for time. So these are very cool to go through. Like I said, I don't want you guys buying them and being like, Ryan, you said that these were great. I have not tested these. This is just clearly off of My Modern Met. Then there is also the Nice List, which is they have created a thing with Squarespace where they say if there's last minute shopping, there are creative workshops, classes, and one-off experiences that could save the day. And they have a few available here. The one that I was most excited about is I'm a really big fan of Meg Lewis. She's been a speaker at Max before. She was a speaker last year. She has this really cool style and really cool, colorful thing. And so she is doing a workshop that is saying that business is bound by joy, curiosity, and creativity. It's home to Squarespace. Meg Lewis Fun Home offers talks, workshops, and classes where Meg helps teams and individuals move away from bland professionalism towards playful, joyful, and more effective ways of working, which is cool. And yeah, this is on It's Nice That, which is this one is just provided by the whole staff. And this one came out earlier this week. Just a slight few more things. I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for this or not. We have Creative Block also doing these are the things that digital artists reveal the one object they can't live without. These are just fun little things. There is this really weird crazy mouse thing with then also pads on the top. There is a cord container that they also call out, which is really nice. And I can't find the link for it. Did I not save it? I thought I saved it. Yeah, here we go. This was not in the raindrop. I'll make sure I put it back in the raindrop. This is really cool because some people like call out their chair that they have. They have different keyboards. This is the cable management box. They have a stand for an iPad, stand for their own. I like these magnetic stands, personally. These guys, they're really strong too, but they're just MagSafe, which is cool. And I have that up on my desk all the time. So that's also a resource for you if you need it. Is that everything that we have in Spotlight? No, one last Spotlight we have was a fun art thing here. That is talking about icons in menus, and this is from Jim's blog. It is all about the ability to approach design with a little bit more intention, and it's all about not putting an icon in every single thing. Now, what was that previous website? The previous website was Creative Block, and it'll be on the Raindrop, so you can hop in through there. But this is, they're talking about how like menus in Mac OS Tahoe just have these for no reason. And they're saying that it would look better if you could just have kind of limited stuff here. They also go as far to say that they blur everything out, and they would be like, okay, if you had this, like, would you be able to tell what everything is? For some of them, I would say yes, like maybe the cut and the paste. But as you get farther down, like this, what does that do? What does ABC do? I don't know. They do also mention that sometimes it is good where there are like things like screen positioning and arranging things where it works, but just having more intention in design and not just adding ugly icons on the side just to have ugly icons on the side. But you know it. Technically, we didn't get enough time to get to these resources, but you know what? I think we'll be able to do these resources when we come back in January. One's a really good portfolio website, and the other one is a nice video from Kelsey Slay about Illustrator features. But we are way over time, and I do want to say that there is a good show going on right after this, or right now, honestly, as we speak, on twitch.tv/Adobe. So make sure you guys hop on over there. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. I'm Ryan Selvey. Also follow me on Blue Sky, ryanselvey.com. I'll be back all next week for a nice nice holiday week. I'm hosting all 6 episodes, so that icon and schedule will all pop up at the beginning of next week. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. Thank you. And yeah, you're not going to just carry on for 2 hours. I know, right? We'll see. We'll see if I made anyone really mad. Sorry if I made anyone mad. But thank you guys as always. CA and LA are on right now, so make sure you go visit them and hang out. They'll be on for 2 hours, so go enjoy. Thank you guys so much. If I don't see you next week, which I should. So I'm not even going to say Happy New Year because I should see you next week. So, all right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Have a great rest of your week. Thanks for watching.